Have you ever felt it? That quiet hum beneath the noise of your daily life. A subtle vibration. A deep inner knowing that there is more to you than just flesh and bone. More to your reality than what your five senses report back to you. What if I told you that this feeling isn't just a fleeting fantasy? What if it is a signal? I call from the very operating system of the universe, inviting you to remember the power you hold within. Welcome. Take a deep, conscious breath. Feel the air fill your lungs. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Right here in this present moment, you are standing at the doorway to a revolution. Not a revolution of nations or ideologies, but a revolution of self. The truth is, you have been taught to see yourself as small. A passive observer in a vast, indifferent cosmos. A victim of circumstance. A biological machine running on a predetermined genetic code. But is that the whole story? The pioneers of quantum physics, the mystics of ancient traditions, and the modern-day sages of neuroscience are all beginning to arrive at the very same breathtaking conclusion. You are not merely in the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself. This isn't poetry. This is the frontier of science. We are here today to talk about the most profound technology you will ever own. It's a technology that requires no updates, no charging cables, and no monthly subscription. It is the divine engineering encoded within your very being. We are here to talk about the science of brain and heart coherence. The alignment of your two brains. Yes, you heard that right. You have two brains. One, nestled within your skull, is the master architect, the logician, the analyzer. It thinks, it calculates, it processes the endless stream of data from the outside world. This is the brain you know, the one that thinks in language, in concepts, in past and future. It sends the electrical signals out into the field of potential. But there is another, an older, more powerful and far more mysterious intelligence. Your heart. Your heart is not just a pump. It's not just a muscle that circulates blood. The latest, most groundbreaking research reveals that the human heart contains a network of around 40 neurons, a complex system sophisticated enough to be called the little brain. This heart-brain feels. It knows. It communicates not in words, but in the universal language of frequency and vibration. It generates the most powerful magnetic field in the body, a field that can be measured several feet away from you. This magnetic field is the drawing power. It is the magnet that pulls experience to you from the quantum field. Think about that for a second. The energy of your heart is broadcasting a signal into the space around you. A signal that is constantly shaping your reality. The problem? For most of us, these two brains are in a state of constant conflict, a state of incoherence. The thinking brain is lost in worry, doubt, and fear. It replays past hurts and anxiously rehearses future disasters. It lives in a state of survival. The feeling heart, in response, generates the chaotic, stressful emotions that match those thoughts: anxiety, frustration, anger, sadness. When your brain and heart are out of sync, The signal you broadcast into the quantum field is chaotic. It's like trying to tune a radio to a specific station while frantically spinning the dial back and forth. You get static. You get noise. You get a reality that feels random, unpredictable, and out of your control. Does that sound familiar? Have you ever set a powerful intention with your mind only to feel in your heart that it's impossible? I want to be abundant, your mind declares. But we've always been in lack, your heart whispers back. I want to be healthy and vibrant, your mind insists. But look at this diagnosis, look at this pain, your heart grieves. This is the state of incoherence, a civil war between thought and feeling. And it is the single greatest obstacle to creating the life you truly desire. But what if you could end that war? What if you could synchronize these two powerful centers? What if you could get your brain and your heart to speak the same language, to broadcast the same clear, powerful, coherent signal into the field? This is not just a pleasant idea. It is a measurable, physiological state. It is called Brain Heart Coherence. When your brain waves and your heart rhythms entrain, when they lock into a harmonious, synchronized pattern, something miraculous happens. You move out of survival and into a state of creation. The electrical signal from your brain, your clear intention, and the magnetic signature from your heart, your elevated emotion merge to create an electromagnetic field that is hundreds, even thousands of times more powerful than the brain's alone. This isn't wishful thinking. It's not the law of attraction as some vague, passive hope. It is the law of being. It is the fundamental principle of creation. You are not asking the universe for what you want. You are commanding it by becoming the very thing you choose to experience. You are tuning your entire being, your thoughts, your feelings, your physiology to the frequency of your desired reality. And when your frequency matches the frequency of a potential that already exists in the quantum field, that reality has no choice but to manifest in your life. It is not magic. It is physics. So, I ask you again, have you ever felt that hum? That subtle vibration? That is the sound of your own potential. It is the resonance of the Creator within you, waiting to be unleashed. This journey we are about to embark on is not about learning something new. It is about remembering something ancient. It is about waking up to the truth of who you are. It's not about changing the world outside of you. It's about changing the world inside of you. Because when you change the inner world, the outer world has no choice but to follow. This is the great secret that has been whispered through the ages. And now, science is finally giving us the language to understand it. You are a divine creator equipped with the most advanced technology in the known universe, a coherent heart and a coherent mind. The question is, are you ready to learn how to use it? Stay with me. Let's journey into the quantum mirror together. Let's unlock the science that will empower you to become the architect of your destiny. The journey begins now. Let's go deeper. Feel that space around your heart. Place your attention there in the center of your chest. Breathe into it. For millennia, we have been told that the brain is the seat of power, the commander-in-chief, the ruler of the body. But What if this was a profound misunderstanding? What if the brain is more like a loyal, powerful minister that takes its orders from a wiser, more ancient sovereign? What if the heart is the true throne of intelligence? Dr. Joe Dispenza, a neuroscientist who has dedicated his life to studying the intersection of quantum physics and human potential, puts it this way: the heart sends more signals to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. Read that again. Let it sink into your consciousness. The heart is constantly informing the brain about the body's emotional state. It's not the other way around. The narrative isn't being written in your head. It's being felt in your heart, and your brain is simply transcribing the story. This is not a philosophical metaphor. This is neurology. The heart communicates with the brain and the body in four distinct ways neurologically: through the transmission of nerve impulses, biochemically through hormones and neurotransmitters, biophysically through pressure waves, and energetically through its powerful electromagnetic field. Let's focus on that energetic communication because it is the key to manifestation. The Institute of HeartMath, a pioneering research organization, has scientifically demonstrated that the heart's magnetic field is about 5.0 times stronger than the brain's. It's not a subtle field. It's a powerful, measurable torus of energy that surrounds your body, extending several feet out into the space around you. This field is a broadcast. Your thoughts, your intentions, your dreams, these are the electrical charge you generate in your brain. They are the signal you send out. Think of it like the content of any mail you want to send. But the email has no power until you hit send. It has no carrier wave. The feeling in your heart that is the carrier wave. The elevated emotions of joy, gratitude, love, and appreciation, these generate a highly ordered, coherent magnetic field. This field is the magnet. It is what takes the electrical intention from your brain and gives it the power to connect with the quantum field. It's the difference between whispering your desire in a silent room and broadcasting it from the most powerful radio hour on Earth. When you live in survival, your emotions are derived from stress hormones. Fear, anger, frustration. These emotions create a very incoherent, chaotic signal from the heart. The heart's rhythm becomes jagged and disordered. When the brain receives this incoherent signal, it responds in kind. It produces more stressful, anxious thoughts. You get stuck in a loop, a feedback cycle between your brain and your heart. Stressful thoughts create stressful feelings, which create more stressful thoughts. And the signal you broadcast to the field is chaotic static. The universe, which only responds to clarity and coherence, can only reflect that chaos back to you as a life filled with struggle, accidents, and things not working out. This isn't punishment. It's not bad luck. It is feedback. The universe is simply showing you a perfect reflection of the signal you are broadcasting. But what happens when you intentionally change the signal? This is where your true power lies. You have the innate ability to regulate your heart's rhythm and generate a different class of emotions. Not by forcing yourself to think positive, but by consciously choosing to feel different. This is the work, the great work of personal transformation. When you practice bringing up an elevated emotion, gratitude for a future that has not yet happened, love for your life as it is right now, offer the miracle of your own consciousness. You are literally changing your heart's rhythm. You are shifting it from an incoherent, jagged pattern into a smooth, orderly, harmonious sine wave. This is what scientists call heart coherence. And here is where the magic, backed by science, happens. As Dr. Joe Dispenza's research has shown, when the heart becomes coherent, it begins to send a new signal to the brain. A signal of safety, order, and wholeness. The heart is literally telling the brain it is safe to create. The emergency is over. We are no longer in survival. In response to this coherent signal from the heart, the brain does something extraordinary. It stops its frantic, high beta brainwave activity associated with stress and shifts into a state of coherent alpha brainwaves. Alpha is the brain state of creativity, of imagination. It is the bridge between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. It is the realm where possibilities are born. When your brain is incoherent alpha, you are no longer analyzing your life from the limited perspective of your past. You are opening your mind to a new potential. Your brain becomes highly suggestible, highly creative. This is the state where you can truly rehearse a new future. When you combine a clear intention from a coherent brain and alpha with an elevated emotion from a coherent heart, you are broadcasting a new, powerful, and impeccably clear electromagnetic signature into the quantum field. Clear intention, elevated emotion, a new reality. This is the formula for miracles. It's not about the brain leading the heart. It's about the heart leading the brain. It's about opening your heart first. Feeling the gratitude, the love, the joy now before the event has occurred. You are not waiting for your reality to change so you can feel better. You are feeling better to change your reality. This is the reframe that changes everything. It's a complete reversal of the cause and effect model we've been taught. The old model says when I get the new job, THEN, I will feel successful. When I find the perfect partner, THEN, I will feel loved. When my body heals, THEN, I will feel whole. The quantum model says feel successful now, and you will draw the job to you. Feel loved now, and you will become a magnet for loving relationships. Feel whole now, and you are activating the blueprint for health within your own cells. As Bruce Lipton's work in epigenetics proves, the environment of the cell, which is created by the chemistry of your blood, which is dictated by your emotions, determines its genetic expression. Your feelings are literally rewriting your biological reality, moment by moment. So the question is not, what do I want to have? The question is, who do I want to be? What is the emotional state, the feeling of the person who is living your desired future? Can you feel it now? Can you embody that frequency? Because the moment you do, the moment your heart and brain are in coherent alignment, you are no longer a body in a physical universe. You are a consciousness broadcasting a signal. And the universe is the grand mirror, reflecting back to you the truth of who you are becoming. Let go of the how, let go of the when. Your only job is to stay in the state of coherence, to broadcast the signal. The how and the when are not your domain. They are the domain of the quantum field, the universal mind. Trust the process. The signal you send out is the experiment. The life that comes back to you is the feedback. Change the signal, and you change everything. Let's venture into the inner sanctum, the engine room of your reality. We've talked about the brain and the heart, but to truly grasp the mechanism of manifestation, we must understand the two fundamental divisions of your mind, the conscious and the subconscious. Think of your mind as an iceberg. The small part you see above the water, that's your conscious mind. It's about 5% of your total mental power. It's your analytical mind, your thinking mind. It's the part that sets goals, that has wishes, that can learn from a book or a video like this one. It's the creative mind. But the vast unseen mass below the water, that's your subconscious mind. It's the other 95%. And this, my friends, is where the program resides. The subconscious mind is not creative. It is a habit mind, a program mind. It is a supercomputer loaded with a set of downloaded behaviors, beliefs, and perceptions that you acquired, for the most part, before the age of 7. As Dr. Bruce Lipton so brilliantly explains, from the last trimester of pregnancy until about age 7, a child's brain is predominantly in a brainwave state. This is a state of hypnosis, of imagination. A child doesn't have a developed critical faculty to filter incoming information. They download their reality directly from their environment, from their parents, their culture, their early experiences. Beliefs about worthiness, beliefs about money, beliefs about love, beliefs about what is and isn't possible. These are not your beliefs. They are inherited programs. And here is the crucial point: the subconscious mind is what runs the show 95% of the time. So you can have a positive thought with your 5% conscious mind. I am worthy of abundance. But if your 95% subconscious program is running a script that says, money is the root of all evil, or we never have enough, which program do you think is going to win? It's simple math. This is why positive thinking alone often fails. It's like trying to overpower a supercomputer with a sticky note. It's like trying to install new software on a computer by just shouting at the screen. You have to get access to the operating system. And the language of the operating system is not logic or reason. The language of the subconscious mind is frequency. It's feeling. It's habit. It's repetition. Have you ever tried to change a habit through sheer willpower? How did that go? You might succeed for a day or a week. But the moment your conscious mind gets tired or distracted, the old program takes over. You find yourself reaching for that cigarette, making that poor food choice, or reacting with anger in a familiar situation, as if on autopilot. That's because you are on autopilot. You are being run by the subconscious program. So, how do we rewrite these disempowering programs? How do we access the 95%? This is where Brain Heart Coherence becomes the master key. Remember the alpha brainwave state we discussed. The state your brain enters when it receives a coherent signal from your heart. Alpha is the gateway. It is the bridge that allows your conscious mind to speak directly to your subconscious mind. When you are in this relaxed, creative state, your analytical mind, the gatekeeper, steps aside. The door to the operating system swings open. This is the state Neville Goddard, one of the great mystical teachers of the 20th century, called the state akin to sleep, or SATS. He taught that to impress the subconscious mind with a new idea, you must first quiet the conscious mind and enter a drowsy, meditative state where you can feel the reality of your wish fulfilled. What was he describing? He was describing with poetic brilliance the science of creating brain, heart coherence to access the subconscious. It's not failure when you can't create the life you want. It's a programming conflict. Your conscious desire is at odds with your subconscious belief. The work then is to bypass the conscious mind and implant a new belief, a new feeling directly into the subconscious. How do we do this? Through repetition and emotion. This is why Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations are so powerful. They guide you step by step into this coherent state. First, by opening the heart and generating an elevated emotion. This shifts the body out of survival. Second, this coherent heart signal creates coherent alpha brain waves, quieting the analytical mind. In this state, you are no longer the personality tied to your past. You have become pure consciousness. Anonymous. From this place, you can mentally rehearse a new reality. But this is not just passive daydreaming. Mental rehearsal, when done in a state of brain, heart coherence, is a profound act of reprogramming. When you vividly imagine a future event and you combine that image with the powerful, elevated emotion of that event having already happened, your brain and body do not know the difference between the imagined event and a real one. Let me say that again. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between a vividly felt experience and an actual one. When you feel the gratitude of abundance in your heart, your body begins to produce the neuroptidepsin hormones of abundance. Your cells are literally bathed in the chemistry of wealth. You are signaling your genes to express themselves in new ways. You are rewiring the neural pathways in your brain to create a new mind for abundance. And you are installing a new program in your subconscious. If you do this repeatedly with passion and focus, that new neural net, that new program will become hardwired. It will become the new default. The old program of lack doesn't just disappear. It gets pruned away from lack of use. Neurons that no longer fire together, no longer wire together. You are literally uninstalling the old software and installing new, upgraded software. And then the magic happens. You no longer have to try to be abundant. You simply are. Your actions, your choices, your perceptions, all flowing effortlessly from the new subconscious program of worthiness and abundance. This is when the 95% starts working for you instead of against you. This is when manifestation becomes instant. Because there is no longer a lag time between your conscious desire and your subconscious belief. There is no conflict. There is only coherence. Your entire being, from your conscious thoughts to your deepest subconscious programs, is aligned. You are broadcasting one single powerful coherent signal. And the quantum mirror has no choice but to reflect back to you a reality that is a perfect match. So, look at your life. Look at the areas that are not working. Health, finances, relationships. It's not you. It's a program. And you are the programmer. You have the power to access the system, delete the old code, and write a new, magnificent story for yourself. The tools are not outside of you. They are your own heart, your own brain, and your own consciousness. Are you ready to stop being a slave to your programs and become the master of your mind? Now we must turn our attention outward, to the grand arena where all creation takes place. We must speak of the quantum field. What is it? The mystics called it the divine matrix. The sages called it the mind of God. Nikola Tesla described it as a core from which we could draw limitless energy. Quantum physicists today call it the unified field or the zero-point field. But what does that mean for you? Imagine an infinite, invisible field of energy and information that connects everything. It is the womb of the cosmos. It is the raw material from which all matter is born. It is a field of pure potential. Every possible reality you can imagine, and every reality you cannot yet imagine, exists as a wave of probability in this field. The version of you that is radiantly healthy exists there as a potential. The version of you that is living in breathtaking abundance exists there as a potential. The version of you that has mastered a new skill, healed a relationship, or created a masterpiece, all of these versions of you are already here, right now as a frequency, as a possibility in the quantum field. They are not separate from you. They are simply waiting to be activated, waiting to be observed. This is one of the most mind-bending and empowering principles of quantum physics. As the pioneering physicist Werner Heisenberg suggested, what we observe is not nature itself, but nature exposed to our method of questioning. In the quantum world, particles exist in a state of pure potential, a wave of probability, until they are observed. The act of observation, the act of consciousness focusing its attention, is what collapses the wave of potential into a particle, an event and experience. You are the observer of your life. Your reality is not something that is happening to you. It is something that is responding to you. It is responding to where you place your attention and what you expect to see. The quantum field is not a passive void. It is a conscious, intelligent, and infinitely responsive mirror. It does not judge you. It does not have opinions about what you deserve. It is completely impartial. It simply reflects back to you with perfect precision the signal that you are broadcasting. So, if you are broadcasting a signal of victimhood, what does the quantum mirror have to show you? It will show you more reasons to feel like a victim. It will bring you people and circumstances that validate your belief that you are powerless. If you are broadcasting a signal of lack and scarcity, what must the quantum mirror reflect? It will orchestrate events that prove to you that there is never enough. Opportunities will dry up. Unexpected bills will appear. Again, this is not punishment. It is physics. The field is organizing itself around your state of being. The question then becomes, how do we consciously and deliberately broadcast a new signal to call forth a new reflection from the mirror? This is where everything we have discussed, brain and heart coherence, subconscious reprogramming, comes together. Your thoughts and feelings are the tools you use to interact with this field. As Dr. Dispenza teaches, your thoughts are the electrical signal you send out to the field. A thought, an intention is like selecting a specific potential from the infinite menu of possibilities. When you get clear on what you want, you are placing your attention on a particular reality that already exists in the field. I want to create a successful new business. You have now aimed your focus. You have selected a potential. But a thought alone is weak. It lacks the energy to make that potential real. Your feelings, your emotions are the magnetic charge you send out to the field. The elevated emotions generated by a coherent heart are what draw that reality to you. The feeling is the magnet. It is the energetic signature that tells the field, I am a vibrational match to this potential now. It's not enough to think about wealth. You must feel worthy. It's not enough to think about health. You must feel vibrant. It's not enough to think about love. You must feel adored. When your electrical thought about a new future is married to the magnetic feeling of that future, you create a powerful, coherent electromagnetic signature. This signature is your command to the quantum field. You are no longer just an observer. You are a director. You are broadcasting a new frequency, and the quantum field, like an obedient servant, begins to organize itself around that new frequency. It starts to rearrange the matrix of reality. It collapses waves of potential into particles and events that are a vibrational match to your new state of being. And this is when synchronicities occur. Suddenly, you coincidentally meet the right person who has the perfect connection for your new business. An unexpected idea for a product pops into your head. You overhear a conversation that gives you the exact answer you've been looking for. Money shows up from an unexpected source. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is coherence. It is the universe rearranging itself to match your new vibration. You have sent out the signal, and now you are receiving the feedback. The echo. The reflection. Gregg Braden speaks of this as communicating with the divine matrix. He teaches that there is a language the field understands, and that language is not words. It is the language of human emotion of feeling. Neville Goddard taught us to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. What does this mean in quantum terms? It means generating the emotional signature of the reality you desire before it happens, thereby becoming a vibrational match to it, and commanding the quantum field to bring it into form. Think of yourself as a living tuning fork. If you want to experience joy, you must vibrate at the frequency of joy. You must become a tuning fork for joy. And when you do, everything in the universe that resonates with joy will begin to vibrate in harmony with you. People, opportunities, and events that match that frequency will be drawn into your experience. So, stop chasing after the things you want. It's not about pursuit. It is about attraction. It is not about getting something. It is about allowing something that already exists to flow to you. How do you do that? You become an energetic match for it. You align your two brains. You get your heart and your mind to sing the same song. You feel the emotion of your future in the present moment, and you hold that feeling regardless of what your senses are telling you. You must fall in love with your future. You must feel more allegiance to your future potential than you do to your past memories. Because the quantum field is not responding to your past. It's not responding to your current reality. It is responding to your state of being. Right here. Right now. Who are you being in this moment? What signal are you broadcasting? Because that signal is your destiny in motion. You are the artist, and the quantum field is your canvas. What masterpiece will you create? You now understand the what and the why. You understand the power of your two brains, the nature of the subconscious mind, and the responsive quantum field you are swimming in. The science is profound. The philosophy is empowering. But knowledge without application is merely philosophy. To create real change, you must embody this knowledge. You must move from being a philosopher to being an initiator, an adept. So how do we practically, tangibly create brain-heart coherence? How do we move this from a fascinating concept into a daily practice that rewires our brain and reshapes our reality? This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you take back your power. Let's walk through a simple, yet profoundly powerful technique, a synthesis of the wisdom from the HeartMath Institute, Dr. Joe Dispenza and Gregg Braden. This is not just a meditation. This is a technology for shifting your state of being. Step 1. Create a sacred space. Disconnect. First, you must disconnect from the environment that constantly reinforces your old self. You cannot create a new future while being tethered to the familiar past. Find a place where you will not be disturbed for 10-15 minutes. It doesn't have to be a special room with candles and incense, though that can be beautiful. It simply needs to be quiet. Turn off your phone. Close the laptop. Signal to your brain and body that this time is for you. It is sacred. Sit comfortably in a chair with your feet flat on the floor or lie down on your back. Your posture should be relaxed, but alert. This is not about falling asleep. It is about becoming conscious in a new way. Close your eyes. By doing this, you are eliminating 80% of the sensory input that keeps your brain focused on the outer world. You are beginning the journey inward. Step to heart, focused breathing. Now bring your awareness out of your thinking mind and place it gently in the center of your chest. Place your hand over your heart if it helps you focus. The physical touch can help activate oxytocin, the love hormone, and deepen your connection to this energy center. Begin to breathe, but not just with your lungs. Imagine you are breathing in undoubted through your heart. Slow your breath down. A simple rhythm to start with is breathing in for a count of 5 and out for a count of 5. Inhale to 3 for 5. Exhale to 3 for 5. This isn't about forcing the breath. It's a gentle, rhythmic slowing down. As you do this, you are sending a signal of safety and calm directly to your nervous system. You are moving out of the sympathetic fight or flight mode and activating the parasympathetic rest and restore system. You are literally using your breath to change your heart's rhythm from incoherent chaos to coherent order. Keep this rhythmic breathing going for a few minutes. Just focus on the feeling of the breath flowing in and out of your heart center. You are becoming a master of your internal state. Step 3. Activate an elevated emotion, the heart lock in. This is the most crucial step. This is where you generate the magnetic field that draws your future to you. While maintaining your heart, focused breathing consciously bring to mind a feeling that you want to cultivate. The most powerful and easiest to access for most people are gratitude, appreciation, or care. Don't just think about gratitude. Feel it. Think of someone you love deeply. A child, a partner, a pet. Feel the expansive warmth of that love fill your chest. Think of something in your life you are truly grateful for. Your health, the roof over your head, a beautiful sunset you once saw. Let the feeling of appreciation wash over you. Or do what Gregg Braden suggests, feel a sense of care for your own body, for the world, for your future. The key is to generate a real, palpable emotion, an elevated feeling. Your mind might wander. That's okay. Gently bring it back. Back to the breath. Back to the heart. Back to the feeling. Stay with this feeling for at least 3 minutes. Research from the HeartMath Institute has shown that practicing this for just 3 to 5 minutes can create a state of physiological coherence that lasts for up to 6 hours. Think about that. With just a few minutes of intentional practice, you can change your entire energetic and biological state for a significant portion of your day. This practice is what HeartMath calls the heart lock-in. You are locking in a coherent, elevated emotional state. Step for Mary, intention and emotion. Once you have established this beautiful, coherent state, once your heart is open and broadcasting a powerful, magnetic signal, now and only now, do you bring in your clear intention. What future do you want to create? Don't see it as something you are chasing. See it as a potential that already exists. Now is the time for that mental rehearsal. Imagine that future in your mind's eye. But more importantly, feel the emotions of that future in your heart now. What would it feel like to have that perfect health? Feel the energy, the vibrancy, the freedom in your body. What would it feel like to have that abundance? Feel the security, the ease, the joy of generosity. What would it feel like to be in that loving relationship? Feel the connection, the intimacy, the shared laughter. You are combining the clear thought from your brain with the elevated emotion from your heart. You are broadcasting that coherent electromagnetic signature into the quantum field. Hold this vision and this feeling. Don't analyze it. Don't worry about the how. Just surrender to the experience of it. Fall in love with it. Give thanks for it as if it has already happened. As Neville Goddard would say, you are living in the end. Step 5. Release and trust. After a few minutes of this combined rehearsal, the final step is to let it go. Release your vision. Release your attachment to the outcome. Trust that you have sent the signal with perfect clarity. Trust that the quantum field has received it. Your only job now is to maintain this elevated state of being, this coherence as you go about your day. Your job is to not let traffic, or an unpleasant email, or a news headline pull you back into the old, incoherent state of survival. This is the practice. Simple, elegant, and profoundly transformational. This is not something to do once. It's a skill. Discipline. It's like training a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger you become. The more you practice creating coherence, the easier it becomes to stay in that state. It becomes your new default, your new personality. And a new personality creates a new personal reality. Start with this. Commit to it. Make an appointment with yourself every single day. In the morning before your logical brain fully engages, or at night before you go to sleep when the veil to the subconscious is thin. You hold the power. You have the technology. You have the instructions. The only question left is, will you use them? Will you become the creator you were born to be? Let's talk about the art of allowing. This is a concept often spoken of by teachers like Abraham Hicks, and it is a crucial component in the machinery of manifestation. It's often misunderstood as passivity or inaction, but that's not it at all. Allowing is not passivity. It is a state of profound trust and non-resistance. Think of it this way: you have done the work. You have entered a state of brain heart coherence. You have broadcasted a clear signal, your intention married to an elevated emotion, into the quantum field. You have placed your order with the cosmic kitchen. Now, what is your job? Do you repeatedly run into the kitchen, banging on the door, shouting, "Is it ready yet? Where's my order? Are you sure you're making it right?" Of course not. That would introduce chaos, doubt, and resistance into the process. That would be broadcasting a new signal, a signal of impatience, of lack of trust, of fear that it isn't coming. And what must the quantum mirror reflect back to you? More reasons to be impatient. More evidence that it isn't coming. The art of allowing is trusting that the chef, the universal mind, the quantum field, is handling your order. Your job is to go back to your table and enjoy the ambience. Your job is to stay in that beautiful, elevated feeling state you cultivated in your meditation. Resistance is any thought, any feeling, any action that contradicts the signal you sent. Let's say you did your coherence practice to manifest financial abundance. You felt the feeling of wealth, security, and freedom. You broadcasted that signal. Then you open your email and see a bill. The old programmed response, the incoherent response, would be to immediately feel a pit in your stomach. To think, see, it's not working. There's never enough. In that moment, you have just canceled your order. You have just broadcasted a powerful signal of lack that completely negates the signal of abundance you sent earlier. You are in a state of resistance. The allowing response, the coherent response, is different. You see the bill. You acknowledge it. But you do not let it command your emotional state. You consciously choose to return to the feeling of abundance you cultivated. You say to yourself, "This bill is part of the old reality I am moving away from. I trust that the resources to handle this and so much more are on their way to me. I choose to feel abundant anyway." This is not denial. This is divine defiance. You are being more loyal to the feeling of your future than you are to the evidence of your present reality. This is the work. This is the great challenge and the greatest victory. Abraham Hicks speaks of the emotional guidance system. What is this? It is your heart's intelligence. It is your built-in compass that tells you, moment by moment, whether you are in a state of allowing or a state of resistance. When you feel good, when you feel joy, love, appreciation, excitement, your emotional guidance system is telling you yes. You are aligned. You are a vibrational match to your desires. You are allowing them to flow to you. When you feel bad, when you feel doubt, worry, frustration, anger, your emotional guidance system is sending you a clear signal warning. You are out of alignment. You are vibrating in a way that contradicts your desire. You are in a state of resistance. Your emotions are not your enemy. They are not a punishment. They are your most trusted guides. It's not about never having a negative thought again. That's an impossible standard. The human mind produces thousands of thoughts a day. The work is not to police every thought. The work is to notice how you feel. And when you notice you are feeling a negative emotion, you don't judge yourself. You don't spiral into guilt. You simply say, "Ah, thank you for the signal. I see I have drifted out of coherence. I am currently in a state of resistance." And then you have a choice. You can use the simple coherence technique we discussed. Take a moment. Place your hand on your heart. Slow your breathing. Consciously choose to generate a better feeling emotion. You don't have to jump from despair to joy in one leap. That's often too big of a vibrational jump. Just reach for a slightly better feeling. If you're feeling fearful, can you reach for hope? If you're feeling angry, can you reach for frustration? Yes, even that is a step up. If you're feeling frustrated, can you reach for contentment? If you're feeling content, can you reach for optimism? You are gently, lovingly guiding yourself back up the emotional scale, back into a state of allowing, back into coherence. This is what it means to tend the garden of your mind and heart. You notice a weed in negative emotional state. You don't curse the weed. You simply gently pull it out and plant a flower of better, feeling emotion in its place. Manifestation is not a one-time event. It is a state of being. Your desire is not out there somewhere, waiting for you to be good enough to receive it. It is already here as a potential in the field. Your work is to become a vibrational vessel that is open enough to let it in. Think of it like a river. The river of well-being, abundance, and love is always flowing. Always. When you are in a state of resistance, it's like you are holding up a giant shield, blocking the flow. The river is still flowing, but you are not letting it touch you. When you practice the art of allowing, you are simply putting down the shield. You are letting the river of well-being, which is your natural birthright, flow into your experience. So, how do you know what to do? What actions to take? When you are in a state of coherence and allowing, the actions you are inspired to take will feel good. They will feel expansive. They will feel like the next logical, joyful step. These are called inspired actions. They are effortless. They are the universe co-creating with you, guiding you along the path of least resistance toward your desire. When you are in a state of resistance, the actions you try to take feel like a struggle, like forcing a square peg into a round hole. This is struggle action. It's your guidance system telling you that you are trying to swim upstream. So, the mantra is this: get into coherence first. Find the feeling first. And then from that aligned state, take the actions that feel inspired. Trust your guidance system. Trust your heart. It knows the way. It is your direct line to the universal mind. Allowing is the ultimate act of faith. It is the deep cellular knowing that the universe is for you, that creation is finished, and that your only task is to become a vibrational match to the good you desire. Can you trust that much? Can you let go of the oars and let the current of well-being carry you home? We have journeyed through the mind, the heart, and the quantum field. Now let us bring this profound conversation into the most intimate territory of all your physical body, your biology. For centuries, we have been indoctrinated with the idea of genetic determinism, the belief that we are victims of our heredity, that our genes are a fixed blueprint, a life sentence handed down from our ancestors that dictates our health, our longevity, our predispositions to disease. But what if that was one of the most disempowering myths ever told? Enter the revolutionary science of epigenetics, championed by visionary cell biologist Bruce Lipton. The word epigenetics literally means control above the genes. It is the science of how our environment, and more importantly our perception of our environment, changes the way our genes express themselves. This is not a theory. It is a biological fact. Your genes are like a vast library of blueprints. You have blueprints for health and blueprints for disease. But the blueprints themselves are not the final say. They are merely potentials. What determines which blueprint gets read? Which one gets activated? The signal from the environment. Now, here is the revelation that changes everything. For the 50 trillion cells that make up your body, what is their primary environment? It is the culture medium they are floating in. Your blood. And what determines the chemical composition of your blood from moment to moment? Your perceptions. Your emotions. The chemistry of your thoughts and feelings. When you are in a state of stress, fear, or anger, the state of incoherence, your brain releases a cascade of stress hormones into your bloodstream. Cortisol, adrenaline. These chemicals are designed for short-term survival for outrunning a predator. They shut down the immune system, inhibit growth and repair, and send a signal of emergency to every cell in your body. When your cells are constantly bathed in the chemistry of stress, which genetic blueprints do you think they are going to select? They will activate programs for defense, for inflammation, for disease. The body is literally preparing for a threat that, in modern life, is often just a stressful thought about a deadline or an argument. You are not sick because you have bad genes. You are activating the genes for sickness because you are living in a state of emotional and chemical survival. Now consider the alternative. What happens when you are in a state of brain-heart coherence? When you are generating the elevated emotions of love, joy, and gratitude, your brain releases a completely different set of chemicals into your blood. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, growth hormone. These are the chemicals of thriving. They are the elixirs of life. When your 50 trillion cells are bathed in the chemistry of love, which genetic blueprints do they select? They activate the genes for growth, for repair, for healing. They turn on the programs for vitality and longevity. Your immune system is bolstered. Your body's natural regenerative processes are switched on. This is the biology of belief. Your feelings are not just fleeting sensations. They are biochemical instructions that are being sent to every corner of your biological kingdom. Every time you practice creating brain heart coherence, you are not just doing a mental exercise. You are engaging in the most profound form of epigenetic engineering. You are mixing a new, life-affirming chemical cocktail and serving it to your cells. You are literally signaling your body to heal itself. This explains the placebo effect, which is not a mystery at all. A placebo works when a person so powerfully believes a sugar pill will heal them, that they generate the exact internal chemistry of healing. They feel the emotion of being healed, and their body responds to that feeling, state by activating its own internal pharmacy and selecting the genes for health. The healing doesn't come from the pill. It comes from the shift in their state of being, from their own coherence. And the nocebo effect? It's the opposite. It's when a doctor tells a person they have 6 months to live, and the person believes it so profoundly that they generate the chemistry of death. They are consumed by fear and hopelessness, and their body diligently follows those instructions, activating the genes that fulfill the prophecy. You are the master chemist of your own body. The feelings you generate in your coherent heart are the prescription. Think about this the next time you feel an ache or a pain, or you receive a diagnosis that frightens you. It's not a death sentence. It's not a final verdict. It is feedback. It is a signal from your body that it has been living in an incoherent, stressful state for too long. It's not failure. It is an invitation to recalibrate. The work is not to fight the diagnosis. The work is not to wage war against your body. That is more resistance, more stress. The work is to change the environment, to change the signal. Can you love your body enough to bathe it in the chemistry of coherence? Can you feel gratitude for your body's incredible intelligence? Can you generate the feeling of wholeness and health in your heart, even if your senses tell you a different story? Because the moment you do, you are sending a new command to your 50 trillion cells. You are telling them the emergency is over. It is time to rebuild. It is time to thrive. The research by Drive. Joe Dispenza's team is filled with documented cases of people with so-called incurable diseases who have healed themselves through this process. They didn't do it by focusing on the disease. They did it by falling so in love with their future, so in love with the feeling of wholeness, that their bodies had no choice but to respond to that new, coherent blueprint. They changed their personality to change their personal reality, and their biology was a perfect reflection of that inner change. Your body is not a faulty machine. It is a miraculous, self-regulating, self-healing organism that is constantly listening to the whispers of your heart. What are you telling it today? Are you sending it messages of fear and survival? Or are you sending it the life, giving signals of love, gratitude, and coherence? The choice is yours. The pharmacy is within. And the healing begins the moment you decide to feel whole. There is a final dragon you must face on this journey of creation. A final gatekeeper that stands between you and your desired destiny. It is perhaps the most seductive and powerful force in your life. It is the addiction to the emotions of the past. Think about this. Every memory you have has an emotion attached to it. When you remember a past success, you feel a flicker of pride. When you remember a past failure or betrayal, you feel a pang of shame or anger. Most people live their lives on a neurological and chemical loop, defined by these past emotions. They wake up in the morning, and the first thing they do is check in with their problems. They remember their financial worries, their health issues, their relationship conflicts. And in that moment of remembering, they are generating the same familiar emotions. The feeling of lack, the feeling of pain, the feeling of resentment. These emotions feel familiar. They feel like you. This is the state that Dr. Joe Dispenza calls living in the known. Your body, on a chemical level, has become addicted to these familiar emotional states. It knows the recipe for anxiety. It knows the precise chemical cocktail of unworth and ins. And when it doesn't get its daily fix, its end signals to the brain, urging you to think the thoughts that will produce those familiar chemicals. So you find yourself unconsciously recreating the very circumstances that will give you your familiar emotional payoff. You might unconsciously sabotage a new opportunity because the feeling of success is unfamiliar and frightening, while the feeling of disappointment is a known, comfortable territory. You are not doing this consciously. It is the body, as the subconscious mind, running the program. It is an addict looking for its drug. To create a new future, you must be willing to do something radical. You must be willing to break up with your old self. You must be willing to be so committed to the feeling of your future that you no longer allow yourself to indulge in the familiar feelings of your past. This is the great work. It is the moment-by-moment choice to trade the certainty of your misery for the uncertainty of your joy. When you sit down to do your coherence practice, you are stepping out of the known. You are entering what Dr. Dispenza calls the generous present moment. It is the only place where creation can happen. The quantum field has no past and no future. It only knows the eternal NOW. In that present moment, you are generating a new feeling. The feeling of your future. It might feel unfamiliar. It might even feel uncomfortable at first, because it's not the drug your body is used to. But you stay with it. You condition your body to a new mind. You teach it what your future feels like. Then your meditation ends. You open your eyes. And you are faced with the test. Your external reality is still a reflection of your old self. The bank account still shows the same number. The body still has the ache. The person who annoys you still exists. And your body, mind will cry out for its familiar hit of negative emotion. It will tempt you, see? Nothing has changed. Let's just go back to feeling worried. We're good at that. This is the fork in the road. This is where you must make a choice that is greater than your body, greater than your environment, and greater than time. You must choose the unknown over the known. You must choose to feel abundant when your senses show you lack. You must choose to feel whole when your senses report pain. You must choose to feel love when your senses see conflict. It's not pretending. It is being. You are being your future self now. This requires a level of awareness and discipline that most people never cultivate. It means catching yourself when you start to tell the old story of your past. It means noticing when you're gossiping or complaining, which are just ways to feel and reaffirm negative emotional states. It means consciously withdrawing your energy from the past. You have to decide that feeling good, feeling coherent, feeling the joy of your future is more important than being right about how bad things have been. Let that sink in. You have to give up the emotional payoff you get from your problems. The sympathy, the justification, the familiar comfort of the story. Because you cannot serve two masters. You cannot be the victim and the creator at the same time. You cannot look to your future while walking backwards into your past. Every time you react to a situation with the same old negative emotion, you are taking your energy out of the quantum field and putting it back into your past reality. You are strengthening the old neural circuits and dosing your body with the old chemicals. You are reaffirming your identity as your past self. But every time you are faced with a challenge and you choose to pause, to go to your heart, to regulate your breathing, and to consciously generate an elevated emotion, you are performing an act of true alchemy. You are taking your power back from the environment. You are proving to your body and your mind that you are no longer a slave to the program. You are the consciousness that is running the program. You are becoming neurologically, chemically, and genetically someone else. And when you change, your reality must change. It is the law. So the question is not, when will my manifestation arrive? The question is, how long can I stay in the feeling of my future? Can you maintain that coherent state for a minute? An hour? A day? The more you practice, the longer you can hold that vibration. And the more consistently you hold that vibration, the faster the quantum mirror will reflect your new reality back to you. This is the journey from the old self to the new self. It is a death and a rebirth. It requires you to let go of who you have been, to step into the void of the unknown, and to have unwavering faith in a future you can only see with your inner eye and feel with your open heart. Are you brave enough to let go? Are you ready to stop being a memory of the past and start being a vision of the future? We have journeyed deep into the science of personal creation. We have explored how to align your two brains, reprogram your subconscious mind, and command the quantum field to manifest a new personal reality. But what if the story doesn't end there? What if this technology of brain heart coherence is not just for creating a new car, a healthier body, or a bigger bank account? What if it is the key to transforming our relationships, our communities, and ultimately our world? The quantum field is not just a personal mirror. It is a collective one. We are not isolated islands of consciousness. We are all connected through this indivisible field of energy. As David Bohm described, we are part of an unbroken wholeness. Your state of being does not just affect you. Remember the heart's magnetic field? That torus of energy that extends several feet from your body. When you are in the presence of other people, your field is interacting with their field. You are constantly, whether you are aware of it or not, influencing and being influenced by the energetic state of those around you. Have you ever walked into a room where people have been arguing? You can feel the tension in the air. That feeling is the incoherent, chaotic energy field they have collectively generated. Conversely, have you ever been in the presence of someone who is deeply peaceful or joyful? Just being around them makes you feel better. You are literally being tuned by the coherence of their heart's magnetic field. This is the principle of resonance. When a vibrating tuning fork is brought near another, the second one will begin to vibrate at the same frequency. When you are in a state of brain heart coherence, you become a powerful tuning fork for peace, for love, for wholeness. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to convince anyone of anything. Your very presence begins to entrain the nervous systems of those around you. You offer them a more coherent, more orderly signal, and their hearts and brains can choose to lock onto it. Now, imagine the implications of this for our relationships. So many relationships are based on incoherence, onto people trying to get their needs met from a place of lack, onto past-based personalities triggering each other's survival emotions. It's a dance of two incoherent signals creating chaos. But what happens when one person in that relationship commits to the practice of coherence? They stop reacting from the old program. They stop adding their incoherence to the dynamic. Instead, they hold a steady, coherent frequency of love and compassion. They don't do this to change the other person. They do it to change themselves. But in changing themselves, they change the entire energetic environment of the relationship. They offer a new, coherent signal. The other person can then choose, consciously or unconsciously, to entrain with that signal. This is how relationships are healed, not by force, but by frequency. Now let's scale this up. Imagine a family where the parents practice coherence. They create a field of safety and love that epigenetically signals their children for health and high self-worth. Imagine a workplace where the leadership team cultivates coherence. Creativity, collaboration, and innovation would flourish because people are moving out of survival and into a state of creation. Imagine a community meditating together, all generating a coherent signal of peace. The research on group meditation has shown measurable decreases in crime rates in surrounding areas. This isn't magic. It is collective coherence influencing the quantum field. Dr. Joe Dispenza's coherence healing groups are a powerful testament to this. A group of people who have practiced creating brain heart coherence come together and focus their collective energy and intention on healing another person, sometimes someone miles away. And the results are what most would call miraculous. How is this possible? Because in the quantum field, there is no separation. There is no here and there. Everything is connected. When a group of people synchronize their energy, they create a colossal, coherent wave of information and energy in the field. They are broadcasting a signal so powerful that it can rewrite the biological information of another person. This is the future of medicine. This is the future of community. This is the future of our planet. We are at a pivotal moment in human history. We see the reflection of our collective incoherence all around us. In our wars, our environmental crises, our social divisions. We have been trying to solve these problems from the same level of consciousness that created them. We have been trying to fight darkness with more darkness. It will never work. The refrain is this: it's not about fighting the old world. It is about creating a new one. And that creation starts with each of us. You are not just a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. Every time you choose coherence over reactivity, you are not just healing yourself. You are contributing a drop of coherent, healing energy into the collective consciousness. You are casting a vote for a new future for humanity. Your personal transformation is a gift to the world. When you learn to regulate your inner state, you cease to be a puppet of circumstance and become a beacon of possibility. You demonstrate to others what is possible. You become a living, breathing permission slip for them to reclaim their own power. This is not a small thing. It is the most important work you will ever do. So the next time you use it to do your practice, remember this. You are not just doing it for you. You are a lighthouse. You are a broadcaster. You are a tuning fork for a new earth. By healing the separation between your own brain and heart, you are healing the illusion of separation in the world. One heart at a time. One coherent signal at a time. We can and we will create a reality that reflects the highest potential of the human spirit. A world of coherence, compassion, and boundless creation. The power is not out there. It's right here, in the center of your chest, waiting. We have come to the end of our journey through the science, but it is only the beginning of your journey into the practice, into the embodiment of this truth. Let's take a final, deep breath together. In through the heart and out through the heart. Feel the stillness. Feel the potential that resides in this moment. We have unraveled the profound mystery that you are a creator, equipped with the divine technology of a thinking brain and a feeling heart. We have learned that your heart is not just a pump, but the throne of a deep, intuitive intelligence broadcasting a powerful magnetic field that shapes the world around you. We have understood that to create a new reality, you must move beyond the analytical mind and speak the language of the subconscious, the language of feeling and frequency. We have stared into the quantum mirror and realized it is a loving, impartial field of potential, waiting for your command, reflecting back to you the truth of your state of being. We have seen how this inner work is not just mental, but deeply biological, capable of rewriting your genetic expression and activating your body's innate capacity for healing. We have faced the dragon of the past, the addiction to familiar emotions, and understood that true freedom lies in choosing the feeling of our future over the memory of our past. And finally, we have seen that this personal transformation is the key to our collective evolution. That each coherent heart adds its light to a rising dawn for all of humanity. What now? Where do you go from this moment of understanding? The temptation will be to let this be a fleeting moment of inspiration. To close this window and return to the program, to the autopilot of the familiar past. But something in you has been awakened. A seed has been planted. You cannot know what you now know. The truth is, you are infinitely powerful. You are a sovereign being of lightened information, temporarily focused in a physical body to learn the art of creation. It's not about being perfect. It's not about never having a negative thought or a bad day. It is about remembrance. It is about choosing, again and again, to come back to your heart, to come back to your breath, to remember that you are the operator, not the machine. The world doesn't need another successful person. It doesn't need another wealthy person or another famous person. What the world needs, more than anything, is a new level of human. It needs individuals who have mastered their inner world, who walk in a state of coherence, who are no longer run by the hormones of stress, but are guided by the deep intelligence of the heart, who have moved from selfishness to selflessness, from survival to creation. This is the great evolutionary leap that is before us. It's not about looking for a savior outside of yourself. The great secret, the grand revelation, is that you are the one you have been waiting for. The power to heal your body, to create abundance in your life, to mend your relationships, and to contribute to the healing of the world is not in a pill, a politician, or a guru. It is inside you. It has always been inside you. You are a divine hybrid of human and spirit. You are the bridge between worlds. Your heart is the gateway. Coherence is the key. This path requires courage. The courage to be different. The courage to believe in a reality that your senses cannot yet see. The courage to turn your attention away from the distracting noise of the world and listen to the profound wisdom of your own silent heart. You are the scientist in the laboratory of your life. The practice of coherence is your great experiment. Your life is the feedback. So, don't just take this as information. Take it as an invitation. An invitation to fall in love with your own potential. An invitation to become so conscious of your inner state that the outer world no longer controls you. An invitation to remember who you truly are, a magnificent creator, a piece of the divine, come here to experience the joy of turning potential into reality. What reality will you choose? What signal will you broadcast from this moment forward? What song will your heart sing? The universe is listening. It is leaning in with rapt attention, waiting for your instruction. Not your words, your feeling, your being. Thank you for joining us on this powerful journey. If this message inspired you to take control and unlock your true potential, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a chance to grow. Share this video with friends who need this reminder. Together we rise. Remember, your greatest power lies within you, and your breakthrough starts today. You are ready. The time is now. And the power is you.